have a second to introduce.
Indeed. Haven't even taken it off yet. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sandra. I know, I'm sorry, I was being all silly. Okay. Sandy is doing her Competent Communicator, number 8. So she's almost there. And her speech tonight is called Controlling Clutter. She is getting comfortable with visual aids.
And my new play toy, a remote with a slide. So yeah, I'm getting comfortable.
Let's welcome Sandy Markeller.
Don't start the timer.
No. Until I say my first word. My first speech word.
I know, I did too.
Show off. You don't see anything down there.
Yeah, that's actually.
There you go.
That's a good thing.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay. Whoa, I'm excited. It's just great.
Maybe
That's why we're here.
Maybe.
That would make you.
Controlling clutter is about organizing your space to simplify your life. Believe it or not, 80%, studies have shown that 80% of what we use in our houses comes from 20% of what we own. That means that 80% of the stuff in our homes is either rarely or never used. I didn't know it was that high until I read the book that said 80%. What are we going to do about it? How are we going to win the war on clutter? Might I suggest or highly recommend the 5-step SPACE method. Easy, 5-letter word, space, because that's the opposite of clutter. S. I'll start with S. You want to sort every single item in your home. You might want to start with the area that causes you the most pain, the most frustration. Or you can start at the front door and work your way around the house. Every drawer, cupboard, shelf, closet, room, and then wind up back at the beginning into the front door. You start sorting everything. Sorting it into logical categories. Every item that you hold in your hand, you want to say, do I use this item? Do I love this item? Does this item go somewhere else? So you're sorting through a bunch of stuff. There's my bedroom. There I just scattered it all over the floor. You can do the floor, you can do the table, you can do bed, whatever is a handy area to sort. You sort it into logical categories. He's laughing at my mess, but it was a mess. I'm not the most born organized person out there, so it's hard for me. I have to really work at it, and I have to read a lot about how to do it. Anyway, you're going to ask yourself 3 questions. Use it. Do I love it? Does it belong there? You've got to keep in mind what, I'm trying to remember his name, Peter Walsh says in his book, It's All Just Too Much. He says, don't organize what you can discard. I went, whoa, light bulb moment. all these years, I've been organizing all this stuff that I never use in nice, pretty containers with labels, stacked seafood containers in my basement. It became this vast underworld of unused stuff. No, you've got to purge, which is the second letter. So you've got you've got sort, purge, and your purge, you have to be ruthless. You have to get rid of everything that you haven't used in over a year. You're probably never going to use it. You have to realize that every time you discard or release an item, you release it to a new owner, you are freeing yourself of that item, you are getting one more step to winning the war on clutter. So you've sorted it, you've purged it, and now what do you have? You have what I call the keepers. And what are you going to do with the keepers? The things that you use and the things that you love. You're going to assign it a space. In this particular picture, it's a pretty bowl because these are my red hot items. These are my items that I don't want to lose. My key, my sunglasses, and my cell phone. Now that I have it in a pretty bowl, that's where they're charged. And my husband started using the pretty bowl too to charge his cell phone. He likes it. But it's a hot item area. I want it to be open. The thing that you need to do when you're assigning space is you need to be aware of the principles of storage. Is it a hot item? That means, are you using it every day? If it's a hot item, you want it in this hot space. You want it in close to where you're using it. Like, say, the pot holder is going to be close to the oven. I have several examples, but no time to share them. But you want to make sure it's close. You also, for a hot item, you want to make sure it's a one motion storage. Like, you're going to use one motion to put it there and one motion to take it out. All your hot items. Then you have your secondary items. Those are items that you don't use very frequently, and they can go up on a top shelf in a container or down below the bed in an under the bed container. That's fine for those items. And then you have your long-term things like your festive decorations for Christmas that you're going to maybe store in an even less accessible space. So you got your things sorted, you've got them purged, and you've got them assigned. But they can't just be loosey-goosey in the space, on the shelf, or in the drawer, or in the closet. They can't just be loose. They have to be, our fourth letter is contained. You have to containerize them. And so they have to be well-defined and contained in some sort of container. Either in a box